basically being open to learn from your partner, being open to try or to expose yourself, basically.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely had to learn that the hard way about being open-minded. Because when you're growing up, you tend to feel like the way you're raised and the way you're taught, that's it, that's the end all be all, and you feel like everyone else is supposed to perform around that. But sometimes you have to be open, a little open, and willing to try or accept something that could make you
Yeah.
better, and acknowledge if it doesn't. If it doesn't make you better, that's when you don't, of course, acknowledge or try it, but just being open and willing to try. I definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
That goes to the next part. When kids are involved, um, how do you decide the path religiously? Like you said, if you're both not there equally yoked yet, or you're trying to instill your beliefs or your partner's beliefs, how do you determine that when you have kids?
Well, I didn't have that conflict. Um, I do know people that have. I have a matter of fact, I have a friend and a former. She's also a former coworker,
Mm,
and her husband was Muslim,
mm,
and she was a Christian,
mm,
and she remained in that marriage, and she stayed steadfast, and she prayed for him, and through her actions, I think just loving him through whoever he was, and she prayed that he would convert. He ended up converting, and he's now a minister.
oh wow.
And so, yeah, so that's, I mean, it could work.
Right,
It
right.
could work. Now how they raise their kids, I don't know.
Mm,
I don't know if they raised them, in the church or if they went to the mosque. But like I said, I just think that that's just added pressure. You
right.
know, um, it could work. It depends on the personality. It just depends on the dynamics of the relationship. But I wouldn't I wouldn't want to go down that road.
No, I get it. I didn't
Yeah.
realize how impactful that could be until I started having friends in the military who kind of dealt with that. One would be Muslim or Christian, or one would be Catholic and Christian, or so on
Mm.
and so forth. And it was fine until the kids came into play. It was fine until they had to decide, how they wanted to get married, because that was something I didn't consider either. The type of wedding you want to have. There are Christian and there are Muslim marriages or co-workers that had separate religions, complications they had. So that became something that I became very aware of, and something that I realized I didn't want to put myself through, because you could be okay when it comes to you and your partner and doing your own thing religiously for a certain amount of time, but when kids come into play, it becomes very complicated. It becomes very difficult, because
Hmm.
the kids, like you said, they watch what you do, they reflect your home. So that's a big thing, definitely a big thing. Okay, so I want to go into a sensitive topic that currently we're going through today. Um, Political views in the household. How do you manage the opposite political views as partners?
Well, we don't have any. So we are we are all team Biden. So
Okay. Okay.
and we haven't really bumped heads in that way. We've
Hmm.
never like saw like opposing view. We don't have opposing viewpoints when it comes to politics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Joe can speak on
Um,
that.
they kind of play a factor, but it really just depends. People take politics and it's almost become a religion. Politics has.
Mm,
Uh, so that's where But for me, it's not that big a deal. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? I've got
mm-hmm.
my viewpoint, my wife's got hers, and we both are in agreement with them. You know what I'm saying? But that's not our dividing factor. That's not what unites us. What unites us is our religious beliefs. And usually if you are together religiously, more likely your politics are going to align with it as well. So, I mean, it just all depends. You know what I'm saying? But it's I don't think it's the dividing factor. You know?
Right.
It can be though. It can be.
Definitely in today's age. Definitely in today's age, it's interesting because I've watched how politics was not really a big factor. People very rarely spoke about their political views openly. That used to be the thing, the taboo thing to do. You know, you don't say who you voted for, you don't say
Right.
your party. But now everyone's open, and and it has become like a religion because the way people use it now, people use politics as a weapon now. So I can see how that can become an issue in relationship. You could be dating somebody and it's been fine, and then you find out you're opposite parties, and then it changes the way you view somebody.
Right.
Because now they reflects your personal beliefs. But like you stated, having a religious foundation trumps that. Ironically, but it makes a big deal because, like you said, if you're aligned, with your religion, more than likely you're going to be aligned with your political views.
Right.
So, goes into my last question. My last question I have for you guys. Now that politics has become a divided society, if that you and your partner had opposite views, would that change the way you view your partner? Would that alter the way you feel about your partner in today's climate?
I don't know how to answer that one. I don't know how to answer that one, but I don't know. I really don't. And the reason why I say that is because, I feel so strong religiously that even with politics, I mean, it may change how I view my partner, but to be honest with you, I don't have an answer to that one. That's a good question.
But I think that you made a good point earlier about how politics has become a religion and people are glorifying men, and that's the problem.
Right.
Where it basically is just a title that can change in a blink of an eye.
Right.
At the end of the day, God reigns, and that's all that matters.
Right.
But to your question, I think it's the dynamics of the relationship again, Dario. I mean, maybe if we were a biracial couple, or not biracial, but a multiracial couple, then I think that would change my viewpoint. If Nick, wasn't an African American man and he maybe had voted opposite of what we believe, yeah, that would definitely change my viewpoint. Because I would think, well, maybe you have some underlying things that you haven't disclosed to me. Some, I don't know. Maybe you feel some type of way that I don't know about. So yeah, I think it could potentially, be issues from that.
Okay. Yeah, everybody has, their deciding factors that kind of can alter the way you view a partner, but having a foundation in itself, I think, is huge. If you don't have a foundation, especially if it's not a religious foundation, it can be hard to kind of build off of anything.
Right.
A lot of people, a lot of relationships today don't have a foundation in general, regardless if it's religious. They don't have a foundation, period. And I feel like that's why a lot of marriages and relationships don't last or make it. We don't have the necessary tools to go to build or to better our relationship when we're going through things. If you don't have the tools, how can you fix anything?
Right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I think it's also expectations too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You got to
communicate. I agree with that. A lot of people got too high of the expectation going into a relationship. They're expecting something, and then they're not getting it back. So it's like, are you measuring this person off of expectations, or are you measuring this person off of what you see?
Right.
Definitely. That's where communication comes in, which we don't really practice in every relationship, and that causes an issue or a point where you're not on the same page or equally yoked because you're not communicating your
Right.
expectations. Because some expectations can't be
Mhm.
met, but if you don't know what the expectations are, how could you ever meet them?
Yes. Then that's communication. Wait a minute, you gonna air it? We're gonna be celebrities?
Yeah, it's gonna get aired. It's gonna get aired. It's gonna get aired. Podcast is growing. People are really appreciating the conversation and the input that people come on and give. So I definitely appreciate everybody. I
Oh
pick
yeah.
people that I think have good perspective and something to offer, knowledge wise. So people are definitely appreciative of it. So I thank you guys for sharing your thoughts.
Yep. Yep. Hey, no
Yes, this
problem.
was nice. Yep, thank you. I like having open dialogue.